Hi there, listener. You're about to experience TADPOG. Tyler and Dave play old games, and there will be plenty of game talk, but also copious amounts of crude, off-color, offensive, and immature speech. So if you are of a rather sensitive humor constitution, we're just letting you know what you're in for with this show. It has games. It has jokes. You know, just games and jokes. Take the games, take the jokes, and have a good time.
Hello, Internet, and welcome to another TADPOG podcast. It's a show that happens twice a week, and since it's Original Flavor Wednesday, you know by now. I don't have to say 2 to 3. It's 3 old guys talking about old games.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Because, of course, we have our favorite Wednesday drinker, John Turley.
Yeah, not drinking a whole lot tonight. Are you feeling all right?
Yeah. Tonight's episode is brought to you by the one and only Newcastle Brown Ale.
Actually, tonight's episode is brought to us by super long phone cords. Because it's 1989, you have a single phone line and you need a little privacy. Super long phone cords.
Since it's Original Flavor Wednesday, we're playing through IGN's Top 100 Super Nintendo games. And this week we are talking about the 18th ranked game, F-Zero.
Man, we're just tearing through it. We're almost done with this. We can almost quit this podcasting
We can see
business.
it. Yeah, just be done with it completely.
Anyone out there want to buy a soundboard?
I'm your bearded host, Tyler. And I was trying to think back. F-Zero, it's a racing game. So I was trying to think back, like, I don't like racing. I don't like, mini racing games or like NASCAR or anything like that. And with racing, it's not my thing. But I've been around it a lot because, my family didn't like it, but growing up in a Southern Baptist church, it was Sunday mornings were suit jackets, Sunday nights were NASCAR jackets.
Yeah, and that's you're in Kentucky.
Yeah, that's all their kids talked about if their parents were big into NASCAR. So I was just surrounded by it every Sunday, just constantly. And they talk about the races. I can name plenty of classic NASCAR drivers, and I fucking hate NASCAR. So
wait,
but I remember one thing.
You don't like watching a bunch of fucking cars drive in a circle for anywhere between 200 and 500 laps. What's not to like?
But one thing, middle school me did find very amusing. I mean, imagine everybody in your middle school, one of the funniest things to you was Spam. Spam was just funny to me when I was in middle school. I just thought it was a funny product.
Okay, yeah, sure.
And Spam has a NASCAR. I can't remember the guy's name who drove the Spam car at the time, but there was a Spam car. And my love for all Spam-related humor and NASCAR just kind of crashed together. And I was like, people were like, you NASCAR? I was like, no, really, but I like the Spam car. Spam car. And I remember...
It's kind of fun to say Spam cars.
Spam car.
Gak car. It's Nickelodeon's.
And I remember 7th grade in art class, we always sat at bigger tables with three other assigned people or whatever. And the two kids, I remember I sat at a table with 2 other people, and they were both huge NASCAR fans. They talked about all day long. They talked about the next big race that was coming up. And they were talking about betting. One guy was saying Jeff Gordon was going to take it all. Another guy was saying Dale Earnhardt was going to take it all that shit. And I was like, no, you know who's going to win? Spam car. And they thought it was so funny. And we kept talking about it and building it. And then finally it was you know what, you guys are assholes. I'll bet each of you $5 that the Spam car is going to win the next race.
Damn. That's a lot of middle school money, dog.
God, there's so much middle school money.
Yeah.
You've reached the crux of this story. It's a lot of middle school money. To a kid who's never had an allowance system, yeah, it's a lot of fucking money.
Oh, wow.
Especially, so that's $10 I'm going to be out if a Spam car does not win. The Spam car driver sucks. I think Spam car driver's won one race ever. So
do you remember his name? Did you ever know his name?
I did know his name at one point. After this scenario, I found out his name because that's the only time I've ever okay, who won this race? And 29th place was Spam guy. So I faked being sick so I didn't have to go to school the next day.
I was hoping you were going to say for the next 2 weeks.
Oh man, I was so like, man, my stomach was in knots because like, God, I'm gonna owe these guys money. I don't have any money. I can't tell my parents like I need $10. Why?
Yeah.
Well, because I was gambling.
Yeah.
And gambling was a huge sin.
And middle school loan sharks are the worst. They are the worst.
And so I faked sick the next day. I wasn't able to get, out 2 days in a row.
Okay.
But that was a Friday, and then I had the weekend, and then went back Monday. I made sure like I sat at a different table, like when the kid was absent, and I snuck around and sat at that table.
Maybe they forgot.
And just ignored them.
Yeah.
Like I was able to not talk to them for a few more days. Thank God they forgot. Because I spent this whole time, oh God, just like eaten up. It's borderline regretful recall because I remember just how upset and torn up I was about having to owe these guys over losing with the spam car.
Do you keep in touch with either of them now?
I grew up with one of them.
Yeah.
So like I think I've seen him like once. Thankfully he hasn't said anything about it.
Good. Hey, wait a minute. Don't you owe me some money?
Damn it, spam car.
Was it Mike Wallace or John Elliott? I was just trying to look up spam car driver.
Mike
in Google
Wallace
does not give you a lot.
Mike Wallace sounds familiar.
I'd heard of him. I think. So,
Isn't that the guy from Braveheart?
yeah, he's 10 feet tall. Shoots lightning bolts from his ass.
So it's not much, but that's my racing related story.
No, that's
Hey guys, what's up, Internet? I'm Dave. I'm your bespectacled host. And when I was going to college, I worked at Office Depot. That's right. And I remember that Office Depot had a NASCAR. They had sponsored a NASCAR. Yeah. And I remember the driver I think his name is Carl Edwards. And I think this dude is actually like pretty damn good.
Yeah, he's good.
I don't think he drives Office Depot car anymore. I think like he like moved up the ranks pretty quick. But I remember we had a life-size cardboard cutout of Carl Edwards. And the reason I bring this up is because if I have a mutant weakness, my kryptonite is cardboard stand-ups of people. They just are. They like, because I see them out of my peripheral. And especially if I hate the ones, I hate the stand-ups that like the guy waving. Because like I swear to you,
actually move.
No, it doesn't move. Just
their arms
stationary.
up.
Just arm is up, like they're being polite when I ask a question. Almost, I cannot tell you how many times. Because Carl Edwards, the stand up we had, he was waving. I can't tell you how many times I waved to that motherfucker. I can't tell you how many times I would just like out of the corner of my eye would see a guy with his hand up, and I'd wait. I turn around and wave. Be like, damn it, it's Carl Edwards again.
Duped again by Carl Edwards.
Damn you.
We're gonna get so many pictures of Carl waving at us on the Facebook page.
I know all the women that I worked with at Office Depot. They all thought he was pretty sexy dude. So yeah, bring on them sexy Carl Edwards.
Let's see if we get him on the show.
Do you think Carl Jr. and the Hardys, the West Coast Hardys, do you think it's named after Carl Edwards?
If they're missing out on that sponsorship, because that seems pretty.
Yeah, I do. Like, do you remember when Norm Macdonald was the voice of the Hardys star for those commercials?
Man.
Was he also the voice of like the Carl's Jr. star? Or like,
Surely.
was there? I hope they got someone different because I think that would be hilarious. Where they're just like, we draw the line at two things: our name and Norm Macdonald.
I had never even heard of Carl's Jr. until...
Who's his close proximity? Stephen Wright did the Carl's Jr. commercial.
All right, I think that's fair.
No,
Artie Lang.
My buddy... my buddy went to boot camp and... Corey.
Carl's Jr. boot camp.
He went to boot camp somewhere in California. I can't remember. And he said, he would make offhand comments. Yeah, I went and got this. I was hungry. I went to Carl's Jr. I'm like, what the fuck is Carl's Jr.? It's like, oh, it's like West Coast Hardee's. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah, it blew my mind the first time I heard about that. I was like, what? They don't call it Hardee's?
I know.
Yeah. It's like McDonald's is McDonald's everywhere, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I need to know. I think actually we need to dedicate one full episode to why there's a Hardee's and a Carl's Jr. We need to like get Cracked podcast style on this and like legitimately do research and then like blow people's minds with our preparedness.
That'll happen.
The one where we try something for a second.
Right. Well, we've been doing this for 2 minutes and neither of us are laughing. So, what's up, John?
Oh, man, you're looking at it.
Yeah. Do you have any? I don't know, any Carl related stories, or what do you think about Carl in The Walking Dead?
I thought he was kind of annoying.
Yeah.
Up until about the last season. I kind of like what they were doing with him in the last season, making him a little more, not as bitchy, just like, well, I got to fucking deal with this shit. So okay.
Just wish they'd give him a hamburger or some chicken tenders or something.
Yeah. I liked the whole thing with him and Michonne. I thought that was cool.
I am not current, so I'm just nodding politely.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, what about you?
I'm like 3 seasons behind.
Oh, well, that just went nowhere, didn't it?
No, I think a lot of people who listen to the show and also watch The Walking Dead are probably with you.
Oh, okay. Well,
I know a lot of
hope
people
so.
I work with always, they bitch about Carl. That's why I wanted to ask you about him.
Yeah, well, he was super annoying, I thought.
And
but he's coming around, I think.
he is not a race car driver in The Walking Dead. Okay.
no.
Not yet.
He does wear
Not yet.
he wears a cowboy hat though, so maybe.
like
Or
Richard
else-
Petty.
Who's that?
Race car driver.
Oh, you're
Really?
You're getting way back there too.
Yep.
Richard
They let him.
Petty.
They let him just drive with his little hat
He
on.
just had a cowboy hat on. Anytime you saw a picture of him, he had sunglasses and a
Yeah.
cowboy hat.
Yeah. Like he belonged in like a old 1970s movie or something.
Yep.
He was the voice of in the movie Cars, the Disney movie Cars.
Yeah.
He was the voice of the King, which is what he was called.
Oh, okay.
They referred to him as the King.
Not the King
For
of the
some
Road.
reason.
Not to be confused with Pete's dad.
Because he raced King of the Road and got the King of the Road vanity license plate, but his was like King of Flawed.
Right? Show notes, maybe?
Yep.
Adventures of Pete and Pete. It's a classic episode.
I'm not that familiar with it.
I don't know, but I hope that other dad's name was Carl.
No, I have no good NASCAR or Carl related stories really.
Have either of you known anyone in real life named Carl?
Yep.
I've known one.
I've known one as well. I wonder if we know the same Carl.
Probably not.
You might have forgotten the Carl that we both know.
Oh, no. We both know Carl. Okay, then I guess I know two. Who's the Carl that we both know?
That was our friend AJ's friend that he brought back with him from Lexington one time that came down and got drunk. He came down with him, got drunk, got in a lot of fights while he was in our apartment.
That doesn't count. I don't know that guy. I met that guy. The Carl I know was my pre-cal teacher at Tillman.
Oh, same guy.
Yeah.
Same guy.
AJ's friend. He would call everyone Bird. I don't know what. That was his thing.
Come on, Bird.
He had a beard and he would call people Bird. So there you go. He's a pretty cool guy in case you haven't picked it up. So I propose that we don't talk about F-Zero. I propose that we just dedicate this entire episode to all the Carls that we can think of.
Carl
Oh, man.
Winslow, Carl
Carl,
Marks.
yeah.
Carl Winslow.
A hot Carl.
Carl Weathers.
Yeah, nice.
That's good.
Apollo Creed. Man.
Any
I
other
don't know any
Carls?
Caramel.
Okay.
That's
Judges? Judges? Carl Banks? Is that a person?
Carl.
Or did I make that up?
Carl. What was Uncle Carl's? What was his?
Well, he was
last
Uncle.
name?
It was Uncle
Uncle
Phil.
Phil.
Uncle Phil. It was Uncle Phil.
What am I thinking? Uncle Carl.
I'm just gonna. We could probably just string names together, and it's people. Carl Smith. That's a guy
That's
somewhere.
somebody. Maybe you're a listener.
Yeah.
Hey, Carl Smith.
Give us a call at 270-883-2555. Let us know how you feel, Carl. Seriously though, honestly, if you're listening to this and your name is Carl, please call us and let us know.
Yeah.
Just please call us.
Every single Carl, please call in.
You know we don't have more than one Carl.
Oh man, I hope we have so many. We have to do all call-ins, like the one more.
And all Carl in.
We've got to talk about F-Zero now.
Why? I like that Carl Lynn.
It is good. Now we have to end on that.
All right. Don't forget to tip your servers, folks.
F-Zero.
F-Zero. Do you think it stands for fuck zero?
Fucking
All right,
zero.
I'm done with all my show notes. That's the only thing I had written down.
Yeah, what are there any popular theories on what the F in F-Zero stands for? I mean, is there something obvious that I'm just missing?
It's
Is it like it's the devolution of Formula One racing? It's not F1, it's F-Zero.
Okay.
In the future, they make cars worse. So they only thought it was fair to go backwards. So instead of F2, it's F-Zero.
Let's see.
That's how I think. That's how I think that shook out.
That's as good as any theory I can come up with.
I challenge the internet to come up with a better one.
Fuck you, internet.
we might find out in Dave reads from Wikipedia. I don't know. I do not know the answer to that.
Speaking of Dave reads from Wikipedia.
Yeah.
Dave, do you hear that?
No.
I hear it.
It sounds like the various quotations of famous Carls.
Well, I wonder what that sounds like.
You know what you do with that? With that bone, put some water in it, you got some soup.
Okay.
Steve!
Okay. Yeah. Okay, I like the Urkel caboose on that trade. I do like that. I do hear that. I believe that it is time for it signals the beginning of Dave reads from Wikipedia. If you don't mind. Okay, guys. F-Zero is a series of futuristic racing video games originally created by Nintendo EAD with multiple games developed by outside companies. Okay, that's the series, in case you haven't gathered that. The first game was released for the Super Nintendo Entertainment System in 1990 and prompted Nintendo to create multiple sequels on succeeding game consoles, or consoles, as I like to call them. The series has been known for its high-speed racing, unique characters, difficult gameplay, original music, and pushing the limits of its technology to be one of the fastest racing games ever. Ever.
I guess that means like your max speed, the numbers that it says how fast you're going.
Ever.
We made these really high.
Yeah.
The first game.
Stretch.
The first game, that's the one we're talking about, F-Zero from Super Nintendo, inspired the creation of games such as Daytona USA and the Wipeout series. The series has been largely dormant since 2004, with the last title being F-Zero Climax, which was all nude racing. Lots of happy Carls.
You were all in sperm cars and you were racing out.
It's a lot like the beginning of Look Who's Talking. Beach Boys are playing, and you're racing to that egg. You got to get it. It, however, made several appearances in other franchises, which I'm sure Smash Brothers.
Smash Brothers being the biggest
Yeah.
one. Did you guys play this before?
I did. I played this as a kid. This was a launch title, which they didn't mention yet in Wikipedia. But I remember it being a launch title because I didn't have a Super Nintendo at launch. But I had like 3 different friends who did. And they all had, like, one friend had Pilot Wings in Super Mario World. One friend had Super Mario World and this game at F-Zero. And I remember it would just be whichever friend I hung out with would be just whatever game I wanted to play that day. And I had a friend who had F-Zero. And man, we played the shit out of F-Zero. We played it a lot until Mario Kart came out. And then we forgot about F-Zero forever. It's like that game might as well have not come out because it was just like, it went from like, this is the best racing game I have ever played to, man, F-Zero, what? No, forget about it. I got banana peels and red turtle shells to deal with now. Did you play this, Tyler?
I had this.
Yeah?
I had my Super Nintendo at launch and Super Mario and this. Like I told you before, I don't like racing games. My family, we don't like racing. We don't, not our thing. I guess my dad, he doesn't like NASCAR, but he likes like motorcycle racing and some stuff like that. So I guess when he went and bought the Super Nintendo, he was like, "Oh, hey, we'll get this." Because Pilot Wings, he would have been like, "That looks frou-frou, no way." Grady, yeah, I don't even know what that says. No. So yeah, bought this, brought it home. This sat on my shelf until I was done with Mario. then it was like, all right, let's play F-Zero. And
Yeah, you were disappointed immediately?
it took me,
It was too fast for you.
it's just so fast. It took me weeks to be able to beat like the first level.
Oh,
to
wow.
beat Mute City because I didn't know what I was doing.
Yeah.
Like I only got over like my frustration hump by playing it with my dad because my dad got really into it. Like he would look through the instruction manual and he would break down the racers and he'd want to try out every one and talk to me about it and stuff like that. So that's what got me where I found this game acceptable and would then play it more.
I think F-Zero was a more adult game.
Yeah.
Like, I don't mean mature content, but like I remember my buddy who owned F-Zero, we actually didn't play it nearly as much as his dad. And his dad also got really good at it and really into it. I kind of feel like, I don't know, maybe just racing isn't, I know for me personally as a kid, racing was never really my thing. It's still not, obviously. But what is the last racing game we talked about? It has been a long time since we've done a racing game.
Rock and roll racing, maybe?
I think Rock and Roll Racing is it. And that was a completely different kind of racing game. This is very much a camera behind the car, you moving forward, just on a track.
Classic racing game.
Had you ever played this, John?
I remember like seeing the graphics. I remember. I don't know that I ever played it, but I know that I was around it.
Yeah.
I recognized the graphics as soon as and the music when you fired it up. I was like, oh yeah, okay, I know this. But no, I don't. I never owned a Super NES. I want to think this is probably something that one of my cousins had, but I probably watched them play. I might have played it a little bit. I don't know.
I think the music's super memorable. Like, I think that's
The music is the best part of this
man.
game.
Good, yeah.
like, even like when I turned it on, like I had the same memories. I meant to say this in ActRaiser. I think I forgot to say it. When you turn on ActRaiser and you hear that little bit of music, like that is just so memorable to me. And so is the beginning of F-Zero. Like when you start with Mute City, I think that's the first track,
You heard that,
right?
remember that zoom in, the side zoom and the zoom back and the countdown and the
Oh man, yeah. It's not just the music; it's the whole like sound experience. As silly as it sounds for a Super Nintendo game.
Yeah, I feel like at its time it was tiers above any other racing game I'd seen.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Like it was like they put a lot of work into it to show what the Super Nintendo could do on launch, and it showed.
Yeah,
I don't know, man. I had RC Pro-Am on the original NES, and that game was sweet. It was sweet.
Is that another Ship Monday we should do with you? RC Pro-Am?
That's what
Well, I owned
Jason
it,
has also
so
asked about that too.
There we go. We'll get you and Jason
I played
on.
the fuck out of some RC Pro-Am.
All right, let's do it. That and Super Monkey
Was
Ball 2.
not-
That is what anytime I say racing, people bring up RC Pro.
Now that one's it was just a really early racing game. I mean, I'm pretty sure it was really early anyway. But no, Super Monkey Ball. Yeah, I will absolutely do Super Monkey. The racing in that game is so fucking fun, especially multiplayer. I would love to do.
I'm down.
Okay.
I would love to have an episode with you where like you
Are really excited into
you're
a game?
excited. You know a lot more about the game than us.
I fucking played this game. Imagine that.
You can tell they really pushed the hardware because like pretty much all of this game is Mode 7, which is just all of the whole entire courses are all done with the Mode 7 technology, which was unique to the Super Nintendo. And I thought it looks really good for a Super Nintendo game, especially a launch title. It's difficult for me to separate. It's difficult. It's really hard for me to look at this game without thinking about it being a launch title. Because I think if this hadn't been a launch title, like if this was like a 1994, 1995 game, I still think you'd have a decent looking game. But I think this had wow factor when it came out. I remember seeing it and hearing it and being like, holy shit, games are never going to get better than this.
As far as racing games, yeah, you're probably right.
Mario Kart, man, you heard my story.
Mario Kart. Mario Kart's different because F-Zero, it's very impressive audio and video. Great. But then the actual racing is super simplistic.
It's
like they
simplistic,
don't,
yes.
because it's just You can bump the other people into this, like that you hit the rails, hurt your car. If you do a jump and land not on the track, you explode.
Yes.
You can recover your health at the start of the race by pulling over to the side in this little glowing area.
Which is a cool thing.
Yeah, but really that's it. Other than that, there aren't weapons. I think there are a few speed boosts.
Yeah.
But really everything just comes in the difficulty of the track.
Yeah, and I want to talk about that. I want to talk about that little sidebar you go on that repairs your car for a minute. I think that's a really cool element of the game. It's effectively a moving pit stop. As long as you're on this glowing bar of the track, you can regain health. Your car has health.
Yes, you got a health bar.
I don't know why your car has health, but it does. And if it gets fully depleted, it totally does blow up. So I think that's a really cool element because we've played racing games before on this list where you take damage and you repair that damage in really weird ways. Like don't make sense within the game. Like you pick up a power up and it's like, okay, I mean, there's just a random thing on the
Right
course.
over this thing, my car got better.
Exactly.
Okay.
I mean, at least this, like, you go over this, like, designated area on the course and a big, like, Independence Day style ship flies over you and starts beaming your car with energy. I mean, that doesn't make sense, but, like, it's consistent within the game.
Within the fiction of the game, yeah. Because I don't know, I'm always torn when I have to play a racing game. It's like, do I like having weapons to where you blast the other people out of the way and add that element to it? Do I like, because like the Wipeout series, I played Ashley Shake of Fist Butcher fame, loved the Wipeout series. So I played plenty of Wipeout. And like I was into it first until I played with him more, and then I started to hate weapons in racing games because he just blowed the shit out of me every time we fucking played. So then it's like, man, we need something like F-Zero where you have like no weapons. Well, okay, then that also gets kind of dry after a little while. And then I'm used to racing games having like an upgrade system where you get money and then you can upgrade your car. But at the same time, that's also like another thing you have to worry about and think about.
Yeah.
So I don't know how I feel about any part of any racing game.
I like that. You bring that up, and I didn't even think about that. You're right. F-Zero doesn't have like an upgrade system or anything like that. You're right. The tracks just get more difficult.
And you have 4 cars that all function differently. And really, 2 suck and 2 are good.
I don't think I've ever used any other car than the blue one. That's Falcon's car,
That is
right?
one of the worst ones, actually.
Is it?
Okay, because I looked into this. It's like, why is Captain Falcon the face of F-Zero? Why is he in Smash Brothers?
Why?
No one knows.
Really?
Because he sucks. He has like his car's the beginner car that like all the stats are in the middle and stuff like that. But it is the worst car.
Really?
Oh,
Which
it's
one's the
worst
best?
car. The pink one.
Really? Because they figured
Fire Stingray.
they're like, no one's gonna pick.
No
the
one's
pink
gonna
car.
pick the pink one, but it is the best one.
Yeah.
It and the Wild Goose, which is the green one, are pretty close.
Okay.
But the blue one, let's see, because I've got them all. Because the blue Falcon, piloted by Captain Falcon,
Right.
but it's super slick because it's like it's just sliding on grease the whole time. Its controlling is bad. Its acceleration is bad. Its max speed is bad. And then you've got the
So
golden,
I picked the right one.
Yeah.
Clearly.
Then you got the
I do
golden
like a
fox.
challenge.
Well, you got the Golden Fox, which is has the fastest acceleration in the game, but its max speed is pretty shitty. So it'll be the first out of the gate, but then it falls behind pretty quickly, and its body is awful. You bump into a few walls and you're done.
A lot of lumps and bumps in that body.
Okay, and also the 4 main characters, none of them are racers. They all have other professions. They just happen to be racing each other.
Please tell me this guy makes pizza. He's a futuristic pizza maker. What are these
That would be better.
Please tell me these futuristic jobs.
Because Captain Falcon he's a bounty hunter.
Okay, all right.
Former military, I'm guessing, because he's a captain.
That's true, yeah. Yeah, you're probably right. Maybe nautical, he has that bandana around his neck. I don't know. Sea spray, I don't know. The Golden Fox, Dr. Stewart, he is a medical doctor.
Okay.
He just likes to race.
So far, these aren't as ridiculous as I was hoping they would be.
The Wild Goose, that one, he's an alien named Pico. Pico is an assassin.
Pico. Mm-hmm. Pico de Gallo? the assassin?
Yeah.
All right. I didn't have achievements, but I'm going to go ahead and write one down right now. Remember that lame ass joke I made.
And then the Fire Stingray, piloted by Samurai Goro. Samurai Goro is a bandit.
He's not a samurai?
He's a leader of a bandit group. Yep. That's it.
So two of these guys have like, well, nah, I guess not two of them. Bounty hunter's not really a normal job either. So
You've seen Dog.
The most normal one is assassin.
well, you
Medical
got a medical
doctor.
doctor in there. I was just like, that's pretty tame compared to the rest of them, you know?
Because the Fire Stingray is good. It has the slowest acceleration, but by far the highest max speed. So you're always gonna lose the first lap, but by the time you get to the end, you're gonna be winning. It has the heaviest body, so it maneuvers pretty well, and it sustains the least amount of damage.
Yeah.
So remember, my dad was the first one. Like when we were playing, then when he figured that out, because he would write down once he would get their max speed, he'd write it down to see who had the best, and then once he figured out Fire Stingray, then he was doing well.
Corey Cagled F-Zero.
Yeah.
Explain that, Reverend.
Yeah, sorry. My buddy Corey, he always hated racing games.
Because he's a normal person.
Apparently, I am an abnormal person, apparently, because I like racing games, and in stark contrast to both of you, I like sim racing games. I like racing games that are really, really...
Gran Turismo is that?
Yes.
Yeah.
And that
Gran
was the
Torino.
one... Gran Torino. And Gran Torino 3 was the one that really got Corey. Like, he was always like, oh, I don't want to play a racing game, whatever. But... like I was playing Gran Turismo, and a couple other guys that we knew up in Louisville were like hardcore tuners.
What is that?
Well, just-
like they enjoy playing tunes?
Usually import racers, like, you know,
A ricer?
a racer. Yeah, Pete's got his pimped out Honda Civic, you know. But yeah, like they would be all in the gearheads, you know.
Yeah,
just
okay.
Always fucking with their cars, and they were talking about Gran Turismo, and he's like, all right, fine, you know, I'll sit down and play it. So he started playing it a little bit, and then just got so into it, like to the point where he was getting out sheets of paper and writing down what car he wanted to get next, and the car that he had, like what upgrades were going to be needed, and what track that you would need those upgrades for, and just, you know, he would have like flow charts and spreadsheets and shit for Gran Turismo.
God,
3.
that sounds so awful. But here's the weird thing: it sounds awful to me. Meanwhile, I've done every single one of those things in
other
World of
games.
Warcraft.
Yeah.
Where it's just been like, what'd you do at work today? Well, I was on Wowhead for like 6 hours, but at least I figured out, after trying like 8 different specs, I think I know what I'm going to go with.
Well, see, my brother's more like my dad's. My brother also got into this game when he was a little older, and like, because he's a car guy. But my dad and my brother, you know, big car guys. I remember getting so just the level I don't understand being into cars, and then like how into cars my brother is. Like my brother saved up $1,000 and went and bought clear taillights for his car. And when he told me how much he spent on clear taillights,
Them
cost that-
Malteses? Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck? You could have bought a big screen TV and a PlayStation 3, but you just bought these clear pieces of plastic you can't even see when you're in the car.
They cost $1,000?
$1,000.
Well, at the time, I guess they probably could. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, he was all...
You called them Malteses?
Altezes.
Malteses? I thought you were like making a Maltese Falcon reference or something.
Because he,
I think
he-
it's just like a general term for those
right.
Euro style.
My second
Clear.
achievement, Altez Falcon.
That's good.
because his first car was a hand-me-down from me. Was in 2004. I had a 2004 Toyota Celica. It was silver, and then like 2 years later, he got that, and then he added the huge arcing spoiler and lift kit and clear taillights, all that system inside of it. All the stuff that I was just like, I'm getting this car and going from A to B. That's all I care about.
That's how I roll, man. I'm real. I'm what you'd call what's the opposite of a tuner? I just
A gamer.
a gamer. I'll let it ride.
I don't know. I don't think that those Venn diagrams don't overlap at some point. But
Can we take a moment? And John, I would love for you to defend racing because I know you.
no, I hate actual
No,
racing.
okay. Let me rephrase that. Please, can you defend racing games? Because Tyler and I, we're not big fans of the genre.
Here's the thing. I really liked Gran Turismo series, and I liked, the few racing games that I played on like NES and stuff like that. But I really, really like Gran Turismo. And
so it is definitely, for you, it's definitely more the sim. Like,
yes,
that's
yeah.
the aspect you like.
I've never played like Forza or any of the ones that came out on Xbox 360 or any of the newer platforms, but they look great. I don't know. There's something about that sense of accomplishment where you're, especially with the later Gran Turismo games where you have the hardware that you can stock a garage.
Yeah.
And you can have multiple cars that you can pull out for different races where
Yeah.
you're like, okay, well, this race is a lot of money, so I can probably do a lot of cool shit if I win it. And it's a corner heavy race, so I need a car that's got a lot of horsepower that corners like mad. And I've got this car, and I can actually adjust the suspension.
So it's strategy.
So yeah, there is a lot of strategy to it. And then there's the actual skill of being able to consistently make those corners and make those turns and stuff.
So you don't just press X
and hold it down forever until you're at the end.
Or if you're at a corner, you just let up a
Let up a
little
little,
bit,
yeah.
and then you go right back again.
That reminds me of every Nick arcade ever, where they're like, "Wow, you did really good on that racing game. How'd you do?" Slowed down around the corners. That's what every kid ever said. You show me a kid that said something different, and I'll eat my hat.
But I really like that. I like cars. I'm not into racing, especially not NASCAR racing. Although, like Tyler, I've been around it a lot. But, I do like cars. Like from a technology standpoint, I think they're really impressive.
Man,
so,
I think
I'm somewhere in between dropping $1,000 on taillights and just where you are, or Dave is.
man,
Dave and Tyler, both of you, actually.
I think the closest to a racing sim that I like has probably got to be Need for Speed 2. And I realize that's pretty far from a racing sim.
Did you play that with Brandon of Axelay fame?
No, we never played that
Oh
together.
man, Brandon, I played that so much. The country roads where the country
Oh
cops
yeah,
would chase us. And
and those cops, it was such bullshit, man. Because those cops would just appear behind you, much like I felt like all of the opponents in F-Zero. Like it felt like it didn't matter how far ahead I was of any of them. Just give it long enough, and all of a sudden you get the indicator that they're behind me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's one thing that I thought was total bullshit about F-Zero. That's one of the things in a sim game. The people that you're going against are actual objects, and you can pull on them.
I don't think
Like,
that's
you can
necessarily
leave
like
them back.
That's-
In the dust.
but
And
that's-
I think that's shitty that as soon as you would get ahead of somebody, they're just automatically right back there.
It's definitely shitty, but I want to clarify something. Like they had that under wraps like by my Mario Kart. Like that's not just like a sim racing thing.
All
That's
right.
like because like what I liked in Mario Kart is you got to see on the mini map, right? That shows the course. You got to see where the other racers are, so you could always keep tabs on them. In F-Zero, you've got that little mini map of the course, but it only shows you. So I always felt like I don't know if this was actually happening, but I always felt like I would get so far ahead that the computer would just be like, all right, he's too far ahead. We're going to drop this guy right behind him.
You only have to worry about the other 3 real racers. You'll pass 200 little brown cars.
I think I like to think they're taxis because they look like taxis to me. And they'll drop you in rank though. Did you notice that?
Mm-hmm.
Like if one of those pass you, like
Brown.
it's so frustrating.
That's also pretty fucked up.
And sometimes they're flashing. Sometimes the little
because
taxis are flashing,
when
which
you-
means it's about to blow the
And
fuck
they'll
up.
blow up on you. Yeah.
Well, and when you pass them, you don't gain rank.
You do if they've already passed you.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, like I guess they just consider you're lapping them if you pass them before they pass you. I don't know.
Yeah,
it's kind of silly.
Mechanically, yeah. I mean, you got the audio and the visual. Mechanically, I don't not crazy about F-Zero.
Yeah.
The courses are really creative in the way they do their courses and the way you have to handle them. But the game is so hard. This game is so fucking hard.
It is hard. It's broken down into 3 tiers. Like there's 3 circuits: Knight, Queen, and King, which I'm on board with. Immediately, I was like, all right, I might like this racing game. They're bringing in some D&D shit. However,
there's also Master if you beat all.
We don't. Well, clearly, I did not. Let me tell you my story. I got to Queen, and which is I never got that far as a kid, so I'm feeling pretty excited. I'm feeling pretty good. And then I got to a zone called like White Land 2.
White Land 2.
A course called White Land 2. And Tyler, you know me, man. You know I stick with games. No. I tried it. Here's what's super frustrating. White Land 2 has an enormous jump in it that you have to make. If you don't make the jump, you fall off the course. And when you start the race, there's really no way to accelerate your car other than just pressing the accelerate button. Later on, like as you cross the finish line, as you complete laps, you gain boosts, speed boosts that you can turn on. I couldn't get through the first lap of this course because I kept missing that jump. And what happens is you have a certain number of lives. And when you run out of those lives, you have to go back to the beginning, not of the course, but you have to go back to the beginning of the circuit. So I went through Queen. I tried to go through Queen twice. Got to this course, which is like the 6th course. I mean, it's pretty. You're almost done.
That's as far as I got as a kid. Was White Land 2.
And then I crash over and over again on this jump, and I have to go back to the beginning each time. I set the controller down. I was like, well, I guess I'll never beat F-Zero because I'm not motivated at all to get past this course.
I know exactly what you're talking about. That is, I remember playing. For the longest time, I got stuck at Silence.
Yeah.
The last track of the night. That stuck me forever until I started playing as the Wild Goose, and I was able. The cornering's a little bit better because Silence is just so many right angles.
Yeah, that's like. Is that the desert one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The music is kind of just blowing rustling sand.
Yeah.
Like it's kind of. I don't know. I remember the course very vividly. I love the level design and the sound of this game. And all the music is all very fitting and it's all laid out really well.
Yeah.
So that I remember being that, and then as the Wild Goose and feeling that it fit. Remember, then I was able to beat Silence, moving into the Queen, and then it was just White Land 2. That just incredibly long jump. That it's just I never got past that.
Yeah.
So
It's
When you replayed it recently, did you
I
make
didn't
it
get
past?
anywhere near that far. I got like 3 stages in and was like, I'm not having fun. I think I remember enough about this game.
Yeah.
Put it down. So
I think here's what's kind of weird is I literally just said that I was done with this game. However, when you informed me that I was playing as pretty much the shittiest car, I'm kind of curious now if I could make that jump in Stingray. Is that what you call it? The pink one?
Oh, see, it might even be harder though in the Pink Stingray because your acceleration is so bad. But your max speed, if you have enough time to build, his max speed is much higher than the Blue
but
Falcon.
you can't.
I know,
There's like a
A snowdrift, like right before it. There's like a 90 degree, like a hairpin. Yeah,
and
snowdrift.
a 90-degree turn.
And then they've always got, it seemed like every time I go through it, there'd be like 3 cars in front of me. And like if you bump one of them or if they decide to be a dick and bump you, you're not making that jump because your speed's going to drop down. And like, I couldn't think of a way to do it other than like stopping, turning the car around, driving it back down the course, turning it around, and then driving to get a running start on that jump.
I mean, I would try it.
Can you
I
go
mean,
in
if you're
reverse?
curious and you get the game goes fucking nuts when you go in
Yeah,
reverse.
it does. It does. You know you're doing something wrong, which I guess is a good
Reverse.
thing.
Does not stop until you turn back around. Oh, I must be going in reverse. Yeah, if you're motivated, try Wild Goose or Pink Stingray.
I'm not.
Which one
I won't do
had
it.
the best acceleration? I knew you said it was
Golden
a
Fox.
shitty car, but
It has the best acceleration, but the rest of that race will be a crapshoot.
But
though.
top speed is really what you want, I think, for that jump,
Yeah.
right?
Because his,
you don't have enough time to get up to top speed. Though.
Yeah, but I think I think I don't know. I think you might.
You would need acceleration in that short span that you have before you hit the jump.
Because in that short span, this is very entertaining, I'm sure.
Sorry.
For our detailed discussion of this, like 9 meters of this one track at F-Zero.
Fuck Whiteland 2. That's what you need to take
for
away
real.
from this.
Yeah.
I have no idea. I haven't YouTubed or anything what the final level looks like. This fire field.
Dude, when I was playing this, I asked John to YouTube, look up on YouTube Whiteland 2. Look up that course. I want to see someone beat it.
Got directed to all the KKK sites. It was just not a good unspecific Google search.
I am on 3 FBI watch lists now. No, there's a dude on there who was just like, I couldn't replicate this. Like, there's no way I could replicate this. I don't even know. Like, I was trying to figure out how he did it even. It's just like,
It's almost got to be a bug. I mean,
something. All of a sudden,
nuts.
his car like goes, bzzz, it like goes into some kind of hyper mode, and he just speeds up and makes the jump. I have no idea how he did it. He didn't have any boosts or anything like that. Like John and I were sitting there trying to figure out like, we're like really getting into some like deep shit that's just not possible in F-Zero. Because like John's like, I don't know, maybe it's like a slipstream kind of thing. I'm thinking, yeah, maybe. And I was like, no, this is a Super Nintendo. I'm pretty sure maybe that's not it.
Yeah, I don't think I ever beat that level either. So
I feel better.
That jump is ridiculous.
I remember
it is absurd.
being Pink Stingray or Fire Stingray. I remember exactly what it looked like in my mind's eye still of just that lift up and I get almost there and then just explode into this weird lava kind of bubble just right there on all the You got any achievements?
I do. I've got a couple achievements.
Yeah.
I pretty much came up with them on the show, as you know. But don't worry. I've refined them a little bit. First achievement I've got is Pico de Gallo. In order to unlock Pico de Gallo, you have to beat all 3 circuits as the alien Pico.
That's good. That's good. It's doable.
Second achievement, Altez Falcon. In order to unlock Altez Falcon, what you have to do is maintain first place through the entirety of a race in the Blue Falcon. So the only thing any of the other racers see are your taillights.
Nice.
I've got one.
All right, what
Just
you got?
one. Samurai Gororia. And that is where you lose each race and then retry until you win. So it's just like you can get rid of it, but it never really goes away.
Okay. John, do you have any?
No, I don't. I would like to say, though, while earlier I said my favorite racing game was Gran Turismo 3,
Yeah.
I would like to rescind. Okay. It's probably still my favorite racing
We've
game.
convinced you. Your new favorite racing game is F-Zero.
Well, yeah, maybe. But the racing game that I had the most fun playing is not even really a racing game. The racing is just a part of it, and that's Super Monkey Ball. Super Monkey Ball Racing multiplayer with 4 players is like one of the most fun things I've ever done.
I want to do it. I want to do
So
it.
much fun.
I really do. I want to do it.
I've got Monkey Ball 2 down there.
Let's do it.
Didn't even know I had it until John asked me if I had it.
Let's all call in sick to work tomorrow and play Super Monkey Ball 2.
Yeah, surprisingly, Super Monkey Ball 2 Racing, not a sim. It's not a sim.
Not a sim racer?
No.
You don't have like banana tires and something got
You
bananas.
can't buy a bigger
Oh,
turbo
man.
or anything.
That would be a great game. That would be like in the vein of like all the simulation like surgery games and like where the controls are super wonky, where you are literally a chimpanzee in a race car. And like the controls are all weird and like you can't really see over the hood of the car or anything, over the steering wheel, and you're just going crazy.
But otherwise, it's totally serious. Like,
Oh, yeah.
Specking out your car and having a garage.
Right.
Like, this chimpanzee is a serious racer.
I can't remember what platform it came out on. It may have actually been PC, but there was a NASCAR. I want to think it was like an EA NASCAR game that was so. Oh God, you guys would have hated it.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah,
I already. EA and NASCAR? That's a yummy gaming sandwich.
Well, it was like don't get me wrong, man. The Gran Turismo series gets really detailed, but since literally,
But can a
NASCAR
chimpanzee
is just
drive?
driving in a circle? You know, I mean, how detailed can you? Well, they would get down to where like you can adjust the camber angle of a wheel, and it would affect how the car drove.
I don't understand what that is.
I don't know what that was, yeah.
Let alone how I would do it. So no,
Well, it's just
no.
the angle of tilt that the wheel has
No.
instead of being just perfectly upright. They almost all are. And that,
No.
Anyway, but yeah.
Unless
I mean,
it goes
was-
completely to the side and then makes the DeLorean fly.
Right.
Not interested.
Pass. Is the DeLorean in this game?
No, unfortunately. Yeah, that was actually the DeLorean. If there are any gearheads out there listening to this, the DeLorean actually had a terrible. It was way too fucking heavy because it was made out of stainless steel. Way too fucking heavy for the motor that it had. So getting that bitch up to 88 miles an hour would have
Are you
been
saying that it was
rough.
not possible to fly one into the future?
Probably couldn't fly one. Probably couldn't get one up to 88 miles an hour without doing some serious tinkering with it.
Well, I recently watched Jerry Seinfeld's new web series, Comedians Driving in Cars to Get Coffee.
Lord Dennis has been like really wanting me to watch that, and I
It's
haven't.
good.
I gotta
Megan and I
check
watched
that
a
out.
lot of it. And the episode where he goes, because Jerry Seinfeld, he gets some kind of either awesome or strange car, goes to get a comedian, and then go get coffee, and it's just them talking. So on the episode where he goes to get Patton Oswalt, he drives a DeLorean. He goes, he gets Patton Oswalt.
That's a good choice.
They get 2 blocks down, fucking breaks down. they have to call Uber, and the guy, just some guy like an SUV from Uber. Then they put the camera in his car, and they just go get coffee.
I
like
think
that.
I think it would have been great instead of calling Uber, they had called Christopher Lloyd, and he had guest starred for that episode. He just pulls over to a trash can, just starts putting banana peels and shit in the gas tank.
Before we get any further, Dave,
Yeah, I feel like we're pretty far.
we're pretty far. Before we get to the last wrapping things up, I have something for you guys.
Well, see, I've been talking a lot so that we wouldn't have time to do this quiz that I knew you had prepared.
Oh, see, David tricked you.
Yeah?
See, David tricked you.
You tricked me?
Because you
No.
would have figured, because usually when I make a quiz, I
Yeah.
make it about the game or something pertaining to the game.
Yeah.
Like my quizzes, I feel my quizzes have been kind of difficult and not that fun lately.
Oh,
and I wanted
nah.
to trick you a little bit. Like,
being too hard on
I've got a
yourself.
NASCAR quiz. And you guys were like, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
I don't have a NASCAR quiz.
Okay, great.
And that would be too much.
That's even better.
Today, I finished the book Ready Player One.
Okay. Tell me about this book.
Ready Player, it's so good. I think you would love it.
Is this the first TADPOG book club book?
Yeah, I think so, because it is very video game heavy.
Here's what I think we should do. I think I should also read this book, and then we'll talk about it on a show that everyone has to pay. What's reasonable? $80? $80 for.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, that's the going rate.
That's how much you have to pay me to read a book.
But the story behind Ready Player One is a guy who is like born in the same time period as all of us.
Okay.
And this is like it's like 2030 or something like that, maybe later. And now he's in his 70s. He has cancer and he's dying. He's coded the greatest video game. Like he revolutionized virtual reality. And now, because of the energy crisis and world wars, the real world has gone to shit.
He's like the lawnmower man.
I haven't seen that, but yeah. And he makes this virtual reality. Now all business, everything is done in this virtual reality. And he is a multi-billionaire. And he's dying. And he decides, I'm going to hide an Easter egg in this game. And whoever finds it inherits everything. They get all my money. They own... It's called the Oasis. It's the virtual reality world. They own the Oasis. It's all for you guys. It's just find my Easter
So
egg.
it's like Second Life if Second Life succeeded.
Yes.
How many?
And the real world went to shit.
Yeah.
How many storms are in this book where penises rain down from the sky?
There's one scene where they talk about like the sex world,
Yeah.
and there could be robotic penises. If anything, it would
not
be there.
So not really that close to Second Life is what you're saying.
Right. But they talk about, I mean, anybody can be anything in this virtual world, and all business is done in it.
Yeah.
Everything is now exists. The currency, whatever money you make in this virtual reality, it becomes real world currency you can spend. Like all money has been monetized into this virtual reality. So you can go and your job could be farming mobs in this virtual reality to make real money to pay your rent. Is the way the world has gone.
That sounded depressing.
And what it is, the real world is very depressing. Why they want to prefer this reality. He does a good job of conferring the world is very sad.
Yeah.
That's why this is what everybody wants to be. But the creator, since he was born 70s and 80s, basically all his clues are all about the stuff he loved growing up. So it's all about 80s movies, video games, TV shows, and so the 80s culture does a big resurgence in like 2040. All the styles come back, everybody's watching 16 Candles, and they're all like...
Not the movie. They just light 16 candles.
Like 16 candles.
Watch them.
And
it is very dystopian.
Look, we sit for 8 years with these candles. But then everybody is...
2 candles a year is pretty good.
Everybody's obsessed with the 80s and 70s, late 70s, 80s, and early 90s.
Okay.
So then that's basically, it has all these great references as people are trying to break down all these clues to find his Easter egg.
Okay, awesome.
So I have compiled a Ready Player One trivia quiz
Okay.
relating to video games, movies, TV, music from the late 70s, 80s, and early 90s.
Okay. Man, this is so much better than a NASCAR
Yeah,
quiz.
man, I was really seriously sweating.
I can't guarantee I'm going to do better than I would on a NASCAR quiz. At least it would get
say-
Carl Edwards.
I was just going to say at one point I was going to answer a question and say AJ Allmendinger because that is the funniest name.
Almond Dinger?
Allmendinger, yeah, AJ Allmendinger. That is his fucking name.
That is not a porn star name you want to have.
Well, I think there was actually a guy named Dick Trickle too.
Dick Turkle?
Trickle.
Dick Trickle?
Yeah,
think so.
You're right. Dick Trickle.
This was a race car driver?
Yes.
Yeah.
That is a stage name. That is not that man's real name. That is not. No one names their kid that. Who has the last name Trickle?
He would have been Richard Trickle.
Richard Trickle. No one does that. No. That guy just had a sick sense of humor. He should be ashamed of himself. Disgusting.
He should be.
Question 1.
Yes.
This movie... real quick. Thank you, Sam, for telling me about this book
Okay.
and inspiring this quiz.
Yeah. I was about to say, really, really great start.
I know. This movie starred Matthew Broderick and Ali Sheedy, where they find a back door into a military computer.
War games.
Yep.
Correct. This 1981 tube shooter arcade classic was made by Atari and programmed by Dave Thurer. It was one of the first games with selectable difficulty.
It was a light gun game. Tube shooter, is that what you said?
It's tube shooter.
What does that mean? Sorry, I guess I'm not familiar with the...
Because the way the layout of the game is, there are laser lines in a circle, and you are having to float around and shoot.
Okay.
You would think, being a video game podcast, one of the hosts would be able to answer this question.
Well, one of the legitimate hosts is asking the questions. I don't count.
But I can't answer this question.
It is also the name of a Shakespeare play.
Gonna have to go with Romeo and Juliet's Water Slide Adventure.
Did you see this quiz, Dave? Tempest.
Yeah, it sounds...
You can't play that.
getting there. I was getting
No. You
there.
can't be that guy.
Okay, if you'd give me time enough.
I just said you can't be that guy.
Okay.
Created by Gary Gygax, the final boss in the AD&D mod, The Tomb of Horrors, was this demi-lich.
The final boss. I don't know any of the mods. That's like on Quiz Up. All of the Dungeons and Dragons questions are like, hey, in this specific mod, who was the boss of this? I don't know. I don't know the answer.
Mods
I'll
are just,
guess.
It's not our style of play.
I
It never
sure
has
as
been.
fuck
It was a
don't know.
lich. I'll guess Vecna.
He was an apprentice to Vecna.
Kos?
A Sararak.
Oh no, I would never have gotten
Man, that is the metalist band name ever.
A Sararak. We are a Sararak!
Hello, Cleveland.
This 1982 arcade game by Williams Electronics where you control a knight riding an ostrich?
Joust.
Joust is correct. Released in 1979, this album features a 7-part suite written by Geddy Lee about a dystopian future.
All right, what Rush album is this?
Gotta be 2012, right?
I'll give it to you, 2112.
2112. Sorry.
Hey, we got it.
Yeah.
You did get it.
Thanks to Tyler's charity. So I fucked that up.
Because we've already passed 2012.
Yeah, dystopian. Well, where the fuck are the hoverboards, right? I mean, we're already past.
This fictional British AI is known for his wit, stuttering, distorted, and electronically selected or sampled voice, known as the world's first computer-generated TV host.
Max Headroom?
Correct.
He was British? I didn't know that.
I didn't know he was British
Interesting.
either. That was throwing me off.
Yeah,
I was like,
yeah.
sounds like Max Headroom.
I mean, I was going to guess that because if it wasn't Max Headroom,
Yeah.
I had no idea. Cyber Benji. I don't know.
This game states you are in a dark place. You are likely to be eaten by a grue.
Zork?
Zork is correct.
Wow, nice.
This movie was roughly based off the novel Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep?
iRobot? No.
This movie? You said?
Oh man, I know the answer to this.
This movie was roughly based off the novel Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep?
Man, I keep going back to iRobot. I don't think that's the answer though.
Yeah, I don't think it is either, but I don't know.
I hated it.
Well,
Can you give me a general area as far as year? Because you said 70s, 80s, and early 90s. Like, that's a pretty large
I
span for
believe it's
movies.
mid-80s.
oh, I know. Oh, this is Blade Runner.
Blade Runner is
Yeah.
correct. This 1985 made-for-TV movie focuses on a little girl named Sindel, who after being orphaned, joins Ewoks in protecting their village.
What was that? Wicket. What was that?
Man, I got very little Star Trek or Star Wars lore outside of the 6 movies.
I know what movie you're talking about, but I don't remember the title of
I
it.
don't either.
Because Wicket was like the Ewok in that movie, wasn't he? Something like that. Wicket. There's something like a Wicket something.
I don't think I ever saw it.
Ewoks: The Battle for Endor.
Oh, maybe that's not even what I was thinking.
Because it's a sequel to one that was actually like a movie
Yeah.
that came out like overseas.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know.
This game's kill screen is half jumbled with letters and numbers, making only half the screen visible.
Pac-Man.
Pac-Man is correct. 10 questions.
Man, that went by fast. How'd we do? What did we score?
Let's see. You got War Games, missed the Tempest, missed the Serac, got Joust, got Rush, Max Headroom, Zork, Blade Runner, missed Ewoks, got Pac-Man. 7 for 10.
Pretty good. I'll
good.
I'll accept the solid
That's
C.
solid.
That's how I got through most of my high school. So
Yep. Yeah.
So that was a good general change of pace to the other quizzes.
bless you.
Bless you.
Excuse me. Sorry about that.
No, you gotta sneeze, man. I get it.
There will probably be more.
Bring them on. Sneeze cast. Tyler,
Yes, Dave.
man, have I had fun tonight. What, you don't believe me?
No.
You don't?
A
No.
little bit. A little bit.
Really?
A little bit.
Really? No, I really have. Like, I actually, usually this is the time in the show where I say, it's been a podcast. I feel like this has been some quality podcasting.
Okay.
No, I really do. I think this is a good episode. If you made it this far, I'm not surprised because you were totally enthralled by all of our quizzing knowledge. Hopefully you played along at home.
Our tire angling.
All the tire angling. All the tire angling you can shake a stick at. But Tyler, I've got some important questions for you. The first of which being, how much is this game on Amazon? Tyler, at the time of this recording, I want to know how much you can buy F-Zero for the Super Nintendo Entertainment System used on Amazon. Price is Right rules, John, so you're going to be next.
$3.75.
$3.75 from Tyler. John, how much is this game on Amazon?
I'd say 575.
$5.75 for John. Actual retail value of F-Zero for the Super Nintendo used on Amazon at the time of this recording is $7.75.
Wow.
John, You
A
take
lot
it.
more than I thought. I would have thought a launch game, there have been plenty of them produced. A lot of people bought them. So I thought it'd be like dirt cheap.
Yeah.
There were some that were more expensive, which I thought was really weird, but yeah, $7.75. Thank you both for playing. Yeah. Tyler,
Yes, Dave.
if you were to give this game a kind of beard that would just tell the world how you feel about it, what kind of beard would it be?
I'd have to give it Dale Earnhardt's mustache.
Dale Earnhardt's mustache.
Bravo.
Is that strong enough that it could also be the glasses?
Well, I don't, did Dale Earnhardt wear glasses?
No, his mustache
So
could also.
Size.
It's 2 in 1. I'm not even ask you. Usually, I ask you to explain your answer. I'm not even going to do
No
that.
explanation necessary.
Tyler,
Yes, Dave.
if you were to give this game a pair of glasses, and let's hope it's not some bullshit windshield, what kind of glasses would it be?
No, we've mentioned this earlier. I have to give it the sunglasses of Richard Petty,
The King.
the king.
I remembered. I learned something today. I learned that I can't even remember the name of that stupid Ewok movie, but I remember the King.
Ewoks Battle for Endor.
Oh, well, John, you learned something too.
Because in Ready Player One, they have an argument over whether the Star Wars made-for-TV movies and other stuff outside of that should be considered canon and therefore applicable to the finding the Easter egg.
Yeah, and the
is
answer
it
to
worth
that
our
is
time?
No.
This sounds like a cool ass book. I'm not gonna lie. This sounds like a cool ass
It
book.
does sound like a good book.
That's all I got.
So, John, any last contribution?
No.
Thanks for coming on, though.
Yeah, maybe we
I
should.
enjoy our Tuesday nights.
Yeah, I did too. Especially when you let us put the microphone like right up against your
Yeah,
mouth
I
where
felt-
really can hear you.
Really kind of nervous. Things right here. Oh, God.
You're not always nervous when you put big things in your face.
Would it help if we put up this?
Kept hitting it with my beard.
Would it help if we put up some drywall and cut a hole in it and stuck the mic through it?
What are you implying, Mr. Moore?
No,
Whenever you're ready to record, you just stick 2 fingers through the hole. That way we know
we'll
it's the
slide the mic through.
You guys know.
Oh, we know the etiquette.
We'll put duct tape all around the hole so we don't scrape the mic.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Thanks for listening, everybody. You can find the show on iTunes or Stitcher so you don't miss the next episode. Next Wednesday, we'll be talking about, and I am so fucking excited,
Uh-oh.
the 17th ranked game,
What?
Super Punch Out.
No.
Super Punch Out.
I don't.
Oh, man.
I don't feel like I have to play this game because you know the ins and outs
but
of this game.
I want you to play this game.
Well, here's what I want. I want you. You're very good at this game. I want you to teach me how to play it.
Okay.
Will you do that?
Yep.
Because I played well, I don't want to get into it because I don't want to spoil next week's podcast, but I played the NES version and I'm not
Different
good at
beast.
it. Okay.
Completely different beast.
Oh, I was really good at the NES version, so I'm really curious to see how, if any of that translates at all.
I think
You'll find out.
yeah, I'm having a hard time not building
Yeah,
on
yeah,
commentary now. So
Okay.
I was going to say, I mean, you're going to be on that episode, so you're definitely going to find out.
I definitely want to. I'm going to be at your house, knocking at your
good.
door. Hey, can I play some Super Punch Out?
now for next Other Shit Monday, I don't know yet. We'll have to find out.
Yeah. We'll talk about lamps.
We've got a lot. Yeah, we've got a lot of ideas. We'll have to see.
Yeah, clearly we've got a
You have
lot.
some serious
Lamps.
silhouette action going on.
Silhouettes,
Fire hydrants.
glory holes, whatever.
Oh, we could fill up an hour and 30 minutes of Glory Hole Talk.
The Glory Cast. While you're there, please go to iTunes, leave us a 5-star review. We appreciate it.
Yeah.
It helps us out so much.
It increases our ranking on iTunes, which means we're more likely, someone's just more likely to stumble across us on iTunes if you give us a 5-star review.
So, and we want to further incentivize us for you to support us. If you like our
Yeah.
show, great. But there's even more. If you leave the 5-star review and you write a review, leave a game you want us to play,
Yes.
we will do it.
Yes.
We will get to
We
that
will.
game. Eventually.
Yeah. Yeah. That sounded so good. That was like the first time in like weeks where we just all it came together and we nailed it. Yeah, GIF. Yeah.
Or it's beyond that. If there's a guest host you want or anything like that, just drop that in there. Drop it in there.
Or leave your emergency contact number, and we'll call it.
Call your parents. You call us, let us know you're in a wreck, then we'll call your parents.
Right.
Awkward situation for you, roundabout.
Completely averted.
You can just leave us a voicemail, and once we check the voicemails, then we will call your parents to say you're in an accident.
Yeah. If you happen to pass away in that accident, the police will just show up to your parents' door, not us. We're not going to do that.
Wow, that took a dark turn.
Nah.
Yeah, you're welcome.
So let us know if you died or not. That's all I got.
Man, that was super. Have you been rehearsing that?
No.
That was really good. Was it because I said I liked this episode?
No, I've taken 3 lore tabs, so I'm...
Well, you were killing it there, man.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening, everybody. Like Tyler said, we will be back. We are going to be talking about things. In the meantime, you can always find us at tadpog.com. That's where the show notes live. Don't know what's going to be up there this time. Probably not a lot. Maybe just a lot of NSFW links. So if you want to check those out, go to tadpog.com. You can also find us on Facebook. We are at facebook.com. There are a lot of cool people, and they are doing a lot of cool shit. I have no idea what anyone's been talking about because I haven't been on Facebook in like 4 years. I hear that you don't have to be enrolled in a college anymore to join Facebook. Is that correct?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, if you are one of the lucky college goers that is on the Facebook, go to facebook.com/tadpog. We're on Twitter also. You can follow us at tadpog_podcast. It is cumbersome, I realize, but someone's already got Tadpog. What are you going to do? We can't do anything. They're just sitting on it. They're sitting on it, not tweeting. And you know what? That really grinds my gears. But hey, follow us there. Retweet us. Thank you for everyone who's retweeting our episode posts, our episode tweets. They go a long way, so thank you. You can call us if you want. Call us at 270-883-2555. Leave us a voicemail. Try to keep it under 3 minutes. We love questions. We love video game related questions. I came up with an answer actually to a question that was asked on the All Call-In show. I totally dropped the ball. We were asked what movie adaptation we'd like to see. Clearly the right answer to that is Inner Space. And I just completely missed that. I was thinking about that when I was driving home from work today. Inner Space video game. I would love to see that done.
We'll answer your questions eventually.
Give us like 5 episodes, and then we'll answer the question. That's all I got. John, our intro song is
Moves by Sycamore Drive.
a link to that track.
Can be found in the show notes at tadpog.com.
Nailed it.
Got it. So until next time.
Tropical Capricorn.
Fucking ports open on the Sonic wall. Fucking ports open here. Fucking ports open everywhere. What the fuck? Why won't this connect?